What's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, let's talk a little bit about classic physique as we get closer and closer to the Olympia, now just 7 weeks out. So this is the latest video from Wesley Vissers from a seminar in Norway, 7 weeks out. And I think that one of the most exciting elements of this year's classic physique Mr. Olympia is going to be Wesley. Wesley really shook things up, winning, well, both Arnold Classics, the UK and the Ohio, but in particular at the Ohio show, beating Ramon Dino, who everybody felt was next in line, heir to the throne for the classic physique Olympia, right behind Chris Bumstead. Now, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation that this might be Chris's last Olympia run, and we just found out the other day that Terrence Ruffin, who was also in that conversation, is sitting out this year's Mr. Olympia. You've also got Urs Kalsinski, Breon Ainsley. They're competing this year. Also hearing that this might be Breon's last Olympia. But Wesley Vissers, is there a chance that he's able to crack the top three? Is there a chance that he's able to be in that conversation to stand next to Chris Bumstead, since he did beat the guy that's been doing that the most recently? I mean, we've become used to seeing these just two-man call-outs of just Ramon and Chris. Is Wesley going to be able to replicate a look like he had at the Arnold, or better than that look, now that he's working with Stefan, boss of Outlaw? And I honestly think that the look that we saw from him in Ohio was maybe his best ever. Actually, not maybe. That was the best Wesley we'd ever seen. And it's interesting because I think one of the factors that really contributes to not only Chris winning, but just Chris's stage presence and Chris's popularity, and what makes him stand out so much, is one of the things is he is a taller guy. His weight limit is higher. So he's not only taller, but bigger than a lot of the guys that he's competing against that are shorter than him, and bigger, like muscularly. He's got more muscle mass than a lot of these guys. He really stands out. And obviously, of course, in addition to that, he's got an insane structure. But Wesley does too, and Wesley's a taller guy. And you could argue maybe has more of a comparable frame to Chris in terms of height and just overall size. And looking at this update, he looks incredible. I mean, Wesley's got deep striations in the chest and shoulders. I mean, he looks like he's in really good shape at 7 weeks out. We haven't really seen much from Chris or Ramon, or really Urs for that matter. So I think it's a really exciting prospect to think about, the potential of Wesley. I mean, the potential is there. He could be top two because he just beat the number 2 guy at the Arnold. And it's cool because I've been watching Wesley since before he even turned pro, talking about, I mean, this guy's got a crazy classic physique, hence his vintage genetics name. And we've been watching him for years now kind of struggle to really place at the Olympia in a way that's significant in terms of being a guy that's considered, you know, one of the up-and-comers that could win or crack the top three. And finally, he's starting to win these big shows like the Arnold. He's starting to get those Olympia placings. He's starting to be in that conversation. So we've kind of all gotten to watch his come up, because he was pretty popular on YouTube and social media even before he got his pro card. And for years, there's this conversation of, is he one of these guys that's just got internet hype and will never deliver? And now he's really delivering. He really looked insane at the Arnold. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Wesley Vissers at the Olympia this year, is he in the conversation for your top three? Or, you know, even more extreme, is he in the conversation for you as a guy that can challenge Chris Bumstead or maybe even beat Chris Bumstead? And will he be able to replicate what he did at the Arnold and beat Ramon again? And I guess that's the other question too, is do you guys think, you know, looking back at the Arnold, was it a question of Ramon being off at the Arnold and that's what cost him the victory? Or was it just a matter of Wesley was that much more improved and that much better at the Arnold that he deserved the win? I think it was a combination of both, but I think it was more so Wesley was just that good. It was the best we'd ever seen. And if he brings that to the Olympia, I think he's going to do real serious damage. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Now, next up in the news, now just 2 weeks out from the Italy Pro, Hunter LAbrada showing off his leg development and really pretty impressive leg conditioning, even though he's going up against a guy that's known for his quads, even though his name is Neckzilla. He's got probably the craziest quads we've seen in a very long time in bodybuilding. Hunter LAbrada, I think, deserves some credit for his legs as well. I mean, the separation that he's got in this video, you can see cross striations in the quads, crazy teardrops. I mean, Hunter's going to be very difficult to beat. The more that I've seen of Hunter lately, I'm not only impressed with how he's looking for his preparation going into Italy, but I'm honestly looking at him as like, I think he's going to do really well at the Olympia this year. I think he might improve his placing from last year. Hunter has really impressed me with what we've seen lately. And even though Neckzilla is this freak, this mass monster, probably significantly bigger than Hunter, probably going to weigh significantly more than Hunter on stage, I think that Rubiel has a really difficult, imposing task in front of him when it comes to trying to beat Hunter LAbrada. I just don't see it. And this is like one of the things that I notice with Rubiel is even though he's got insane size to his lower body, when you look at these videos from Hunter and you see the detail, the separation, the cross striations, how crazy the teardrops are in his quads, and you see the hamstrings as well, those deep cords in the hamstrings. These are things that we just haven't really seen from Rubiel. Yes, he has some separation, he has some detail, obviously, but just not on the level that we're seeing from Hunter LAbrada. I think it's going to be a very interesting battle, but I think it's going to be one that Hunter LAbrada is going to come out on top. Now, next up in the news, we've also got a recent update from Samson Dauda, presumably at 7 weeks out from the Olympia. We've been seeing a lot of updates from Samson from the back for this Olympia prep because I think he's really trying to put a focus and put it in everybody's minds, probably including the judges, and letting everybody know, look, I know that my back has been my weak point. I've been working on it, and here's my improvements. I really have added some size, added some detail, added some density. I have made the improvements that you all have told me to make, and I think that's why he's put such an emphasis on showing that off. So we've seen a lot of updates of him from the back, not very many from the front. And look, I think we can all agree that Samson looks impressive here. He looks big. He looks full. I mean, from the back, when we saw those back updates, I think you could see a lot of detail and conditioning for Samson at 7 weeks out, especially the hamstrings, the glutes, detail in the lower to mid back. From the front, he looks good. I just don't see condition-wise. I mean, again, we're still 7 weeks out. Abs look separated, some good detail in the legs. I'm still looking at the shoulders. I'm still looking at the chest. I'm not seeing those deep striations. But again, it's 7 weeks out still. And Samson is a bit of a unique character. I mean, I really don't know what to expect from him at the Olympia this year. Could he be at his all-time best now that he's in this new coaching situation? I mean, he even says in that caption there, this is by far the best he's ever felt and the best he's ever been in a prep. He's working with his wife as his coach. But again, there was the split with Milos. There was the talk about him being sick before the Arnold Classic UK. Then it turned out he really wasn't that sick. And then there was the announcement that he was joining the Oxygen Gym team, which it looks like he's no longer working with them now. So he's a bit of a wild card for me. I mean, you got to consider whether you like Milos or don't like Milos. I do believe that some of those best packages that we saw from Samson, those best placings, largely Milos was responsible for that. And that's not to say that Samson is not an incredible bodybuilder even on his own. I mean, obviously he's got an insane physique, but the coach does play a pretty big role in that. And I think a lot of that credit is deserved by Milos. So I'm very curious to see how it plays out for Samson at the Olympia this year and what version of him we see. Maybe we do see the best Samson ever, or maybe we see a bad version of Samson because he doesn't have the help of Milos. I really don't know. He just seems like such a wild card for me. Obviously, you're talking about size. You're talking about a tall guy with a great structure, very aesthetic for a bigger guy that gets, in excess of 300 pounds even on stage. And just a beautiful physique. We know that he needs to bring his conditioning to another level to be able to compete with a guy like Hadi or a guy like Derek. And I've said it before. I'll go ahead and say it again. Samson already has the physique to be Mr. Olympia. If Samson had Hadi Choopan conditioning on the physique that he has right now, he could and would probably win the Olympia. But I'm still just not seeing that from him yet. And I guess it'll just be a matter of time, and we will see on stage. But he does look good in this update. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Him working with his wife as his coach. What do you think about the current state of his physique in this update and the other updates that we've seen at 7 weeks out? Now, the final story that I have for you guys today, we did get an update from the man himself, Hadi Choopan. Also at 7 weeks out, looking to regain his Olympia title after losing it last year to Derek Lunsford. And this is an example of what I mean when you compare how Samson looked in that update to how Hadi looked. The conditioning that Hadi has, he already looks like he's a week out from stepping on stage. Well, maybe not a week out, but those deep striations in the chest, deep striations in the shoulders, cross striations in the quads, crazy vascularity. Hadi looks like he could compete in a couple weeks, not 7. And again, my personal opinion, I just have a feeling Hadi is going to regain that title. And I think it's going to be a very interesting battle. I still believe the battle will be between Derek and Hadi for the title. But I have a feeling this might be maybe the best Hadi we've ever seen. And like I said with Samson, if Samson posted a video like this, like we're looking at right now from Hadi, where he had cross-striated quads, deeply striated pecs at 7 weeks out, I would say that's your new Mr. Olympia. And I know I've seen people say that's been a criticism, is like they've said, we don't like seeing these short guys like Derek or Hadi constantly winning the Olympia. They want to see somebody like Samson, a big, imposing, tall, aesthetic, just all in all, the stage presence of a massive bodybuilder. And to Derek and Hadi's credit, that's the level their conditioning is on. I know people prefer a physique like Samson or Andrew Jacked, but when you bring it like Derek and Hadi bring it conditioning-wise, and they also have insane physiques in their own right, even though they're shorter, or I've seen people call them stumpy, that's a testament to the level of conditioning that they bring. Yes, I would agree that I would prefer an Andrew Jacked or a Samson in terms of structure and aesthetics to Hadi. I don't even know if you can make that argument against Derek. Even though Derek's short, he's a very aesthetic guy. But this is why when it comes to Andrew or Samson, we're constantly harping on conditioning like a broken record. Because that really is the thing. If they can figure that out, one of those two guys will win the Olympia if they have this level of conditioning. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think, as always, in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, click that bell notification icon, all that good stuff. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at NICKS&P, my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel, and consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.